You hope it works. You never know. Until you go live. Yes, indeed. Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode. Here, 29-year veteran of the woods. And today, I tell you what, people, we're all going to die. Yes, indeed. I mean, the Category 27 hurricane is just going to come right over Bear's Cave here and just demolish everything. Demolish everything at all. Yes, indeed. Well, at least if you listen to the Weather Channel out there. I tell you what, if you never watch this sort of stuff or never get around to it, oh man, it is like a panic porn type 12. Let me see if I can find this here real quick. Where was my news stuff here real quick? I had a funny one up here just kind of very briefly here. Let me find it. One of these days, we will do a professional show. Unlike Jim Cantori, who was hit by a flying tree branch. Why you would be out in the middle of a freaking hurricane like that? What does it show? What are you doing out there, man? What's going on? What's going on? Anyways, long story short, people, we got a little bit of a weather storm here in the locale of Bear here. Mainly to the south, Bear's fine here. It's all good, people, but I tell you. Tsunami? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, keeping an eye on that. Hopefully some of the folks further south are okay and everything like that. Hopefully, if you're on an island or something like that, hopefully you got the heck out of there. We actually had up here in Bear's neck of the woods, one of the other super powerful storms that hit Florida. It's called Michael. And that's actually when Bear was struck by lightning and learned how to speak English. Yes, indeed. So that is Bear's origin story. Once again. So there you go. Interesting hurricane out there. Glad that last week we were trying to get online the whole Bear County, Bexar County. That's kind of a last week story there. We couldn't get the internet both days, Wednesday and Saturday. The internet went out on Wednesday for some reason. And then all of a sudden, Saturday, it was a no-go as well. So, apologize, people. Apologize out there. Jiminy Cricket, good to see. Well, Florida took Mr. Death out. Yes, indeed. Old Death Red Rum Santis out there just trying to kill everybody. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Oh, a tree branch took out the condo down the street from me last night. Yes, indeed. Oh, South Florida. You're on the eastern side, right, Jiminy? If Bear recalls correctly. So I think they got hit a little bit because it kind of wraps around. So they got a lot of the I want to call them storm bands, but a lot of the sort of fringe elements of the hurricane there. They kind of probably wrapped around, kind of from the east, or excuse me, from the east going west there. So there you go. Yes, indeed. Bear also will echo Marco for Anthony out here. Hope everything will quiet down for you people. We actually had a pretty nice. It's weird. Everybody is getting a lot of storm surge down south. Where we're at here, the bays are draining. We actually have the river out there. It's probably the lowest Bear's ever seen. So kind of interesting. How nature works out. Mississippi 2005. Yes, indeed. That is a dangerous time. Anyways, we actually have. Let me bring it up here. Good people. If OBS will decide to work here for Bear, because we actually have. There we go. Yes, indeed. We're going to do a head-to-head. A hurricane head-to-head. Yes, indeed. So we've got Wraith of God. I'll need to turn on the lights here in just a minute. But Wraith of God. Wraith of God over here. And Clint Stoker, his Dracula book out there. So we're going to put those kind of head-to-head. A little bit of a Halloween preview out there. P Money. Holy cow. I haven't seen P Money in forever. So we're going to do a head-to-head. So enjoy that. Enjoy that in just a minute here. But, yes, indeed. Great to see P Money. Hasn't been around in a while. Good to have P Money back. And in that, all will rain my direction. Yes, indeed. And all that rain will be in his direction. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's going to be heading kind of north there as well. Why do I still have the? Oh, there it is. Okay, yes, indeed, Canada approved. Yes, indeed. All right, let's go ahead. I tell you what, let me do the beer with beer. Just 1 second. We'll just go ahead and just jump right into the head-to-head here. So let's get some lights going. I'll be right back. 1 second. There we go. And got to remember to hit record this time. Oh, crap it out. I did a box opening the other week and forgot to hit record. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, record. Ay, ay, ay. I tell you what, you get everything set up and you just don't record it. Anyways, we've got, let me find it here. 1 second here, people. Let me get right on into it because we actually have a head-to-head between two great books out here. Oh, there's the Dracula thing. Get out of there for just a second. There we go. We've got a head-to-head here, folks. So we do this on occasion every once in a while. Just happen to get both of these books in relatively short order here. So we've got Wraith of God. Wraith of God over here. And we've also got Dracula. A Wraith of God from Aaron Lopresti. Dracula from actually a descendant of Bram Stoker Dracula. That would be Clint Stoker. Yes, indeed. A sweet cast out there. So we're going to go ahead put these head to head. We'll do a quick review of both of them and then see which one comes out on top here. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. People may says, I'm glad you're okay, Jiminy. Prayers for your state. Yes, indeed. We could use all. Oh, you don't know how many Florida men are in Florida. Yes, indeed. We could use all the prayers that we can get. All right, let's go ahead and just jump right on into it. We've got two actually really great books here. If you're doing anything for Halloween or anything like that, these would be two excellent books to kind of check out here. Wraith of God kind of is a werewolf tale. Dracula, of course, a Dracula tale out there. So let's go ahead. Let me get out of this. Find. Oops, not that one. The Dracula book here. Yes, indeed. So you got two different covers here. I think the first one was Donald DeLay, if Bear remembers correctly out here. And of course, we've got Kelsey Shannon out here as well. So two great covers. Bear ended up getting the Kelsey Shannon cover. But the other cover, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. The only, I don't want to say downside to it, but the only kind of difference between Wraith of God and Dracula, Dracula is in black and white. Let me bring that up here. Dracula is in black and white, and of course, Wraith of God, great colors from the, I hope I pronounced it right, Gabe Etlab out there. I hope I got that right. Some good stuff from him as well, but kind of just the basic difference there between the two. So let's just go ahead and jump right on into Dracula. You see that here on the screen here. So basically, Clint Stoker is trying to do a sort of modern update to his, what was it, his great nephew, third time remove or something like that. Yeah, Bram Stoker out there. So he's doing a modern day update of some of that out there. No beer, ye butchered it. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Oh, the Gabe. Oh, I'm just gonna say Gabe. That's Gabe. We're not even going to try that. Mr. Gabe out there. So some great stuff here from Clint Stoker, and of course Donald DeLay out here. Very good story. He did a really good job with the update of everything there. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and kind of do a sort of a quick overview of it. You've got oh, what was his name? John Harker out here is kind of your main character. He's trying to get eloped with his beautiful bride to be out there. Proposes to her, and of course is interrupted very quickly by her. I want to say brother. It might be her cousin. Is trapped in jail. Unfortunately, he saw some things out there, people. So he goes to check it out and everything. John Harker is a lawyer, so he goes there to kind of help out his love out there. So he goes there, bonds out. Oh gosh, I don't remember the guy's name there, but the brother out there, kind of an interesting hairstyle. He's got the sorts of spiky hairstyle, which made it really easy to tell his character. The John Harker slash Dracula characters, they looked very similar to each other. Anyways, takes the wife and of course the hanging along brother to a dinner out there. Ends up meeting a Dracula who invites him to a party out there of his own, with a bunch of beautiful ladies of his own there, kind of as a, what was that movie? The Eyes Wide Shut movie? Kind of a Eyes Wide Shut kind of theme to it. So they're kind of having a sort of mask ball, and hijinks ensue. Hijinks ensue out there, and John Harker and of course, brother and his lovely bride to be have to flee the scene before Dracula drinks all their blood. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Once again, us Canadians get our Dracula comic last. Well, I apologize about that. It's a very good book out there. A little bit short. I forget how many pages this is. I want to say like 48 pages or something like that. I wish that maybe it had a little bit more pages to it. I wish that it had a little bit more explanation on some of the scenes. You see the young lady here with the, I guess, pentagram out there. She had her own story. You had Dracula's story going on. You had the John Harker lovely bride to be story going on, and of course you've got the brother-in-law story, brother-in-law to be story out there as well. So kind of that would be four different storylines there. Needed maybe a couple more pages out there. Jiminy corrects Bear here. Gabe L. Teeb. We'll get to that in just a minute here. Thank you, Jimmy. Very nice, but yeah, just needed a couple more pages, maybe to kind of bring together a couple of the different themes that they had there. A spoiler alert at the very end. John Harker has to go on the run. There was some detectives, I suppose, after him. It was very quickly kind of done at the very end. I wish that there was a little bit more. Bear might have to go back and reread some of that stuff. But yeah, really good, really great artwork. In a black and white. Bear tried. He tries, I tell you what. Hey, you try speaking Bear. It's very hard. Very stark, kind of as a sort of, as you see, kind of a black and white, kind of a stark contrast there. Great in some panels. Some of the other panels may not have been that. It might have needed a little bit more work. Bear would have loved to have seen this in color. This would have done, whether Kelsey did it or not, this really needed some color, or maybe something along the lines of, who's doing that? Is it Elliot Fernandez that's doing the black and white comic, the Doom Kicker comic? But every once in a while, in some of the panels, he'll have some color in there. So, like for example, Dracula drinking blood or something. It would have been good to have a little bit of red color in there. They have it'll come up in just a second. They'll have the different brides of Dracula there. They sort of look somewhat similar. So you might want to have maybe a different color hair, or maybe different eye color or something like that. Just kind of tell them apart. Also, Dracula and Mr. Harker, especially when they're in the same panel or kind of panel back to back, they look very similar. So I wish that there was a little bit of a difference, maybe color, maybe something else there that allowed the reader to kind of tell a little bit of a difference there. But otherwise, a really great book. A really great Dracula tale. Kind of moves along pretty quickly and everything. It doesn't really hang or slow, even though there's the different storylines that you have there. A really good book. I would recommend it for anybody, including P Money. I hope he finally gets it. We do need a underground railroad for comic books into Canada there. That would help. That would help indeed. All right, let's go ahead and get to... Oh, by the way, yeah, the covers, some great covers there from Kelsey Shannon, and also I believe, let me double check here. Gosh darn it. The claws, they just aren't what they used to be. I do believe it is Donald DeLay that did the first cover here, the reddish one. Yes, indeed. What's going on in that second to last panel on the page where she's running through the woods? Hold on. Let me see if I can bring that up here. Let's see. It wasn't that one. We'll have to cycle it through. Hold on, Jiminy. She is one of the brides of Dracula out there and probably isn't too thrilled to be undead. So she is doing some, let's see, is it this one? Let's see, what's going on? She's running through the woods. Oh, I believe it maybe is I'll have to bring that up. Hold on, let me find it here. Since you asked, Bear, we'll get into it. I gotta go find it here. 1 second. Bring it up here. Again, a lot of times what they do is some of the contrast stuff. So a lot of times the panels are kind of in the sort of dark look to it. Every once in a while they'll kind of come up and do kind of a, I guess, negative version of it. So it's kind of really bright and white. A couple of those are really stark, and they do a really good job of that. Let's see. I think you're talking about that one. Oh, it's a stake. She has a stake in her hand. Is what it's. She is. Spoiler alerts, Jiminy out there, or P Money out there. She isn't too thrilled about some of that stuff, so she ends up is taking some of the other wives and the Dracula wives out there, taking some of them out. That's where the spiky haired fella he finds one of the bodies in a storage unit. Why you would leave a body in a storage unit, I don't know why, but anyways, finds that out. Kind of, it was supposed to be Dracula's storage unit. It has a big D on there. It's kind of funny how they kind of found that out. One of the downsides to it is I wish that there was a little bit more. They did a great job of foreshadowing that, and then Dracula meets up with Mr. Harker and the spiky-haired fellow there. Doesn't make any mention of it. Of course, he probably wouldn't have known at the time, but I thought that was kind of weird that, hey, we're meeting the guy, but, there's no underlying tension there because he doesn't know that spiky-haired fellow saw a body in his storage unit out there. So, if you happen to be working at a storage unit place and there's a big cursive D on one of the doors, just don't go into there. You'll be better off. You will be better off. Yes, indeed. So I think that's. Let me see if I can bring that up here. Hold on just 1 second, Jimmy. Let's see if I can add an image. That's fine. Let me see if I can find it here. Gosh dang it. Professional show, people. This is a professional show. One of these. Not today. It won't be today, but it will be a professional show one of these days. All right, let's see. It is. OFC, blah, 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 blah. 1 second here. There we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's the one that you're talking about there. And I think you're talking about that panel right there, the white panel there. I believe it's supposed to be a stake. Again, this is kind of it looks great in black and white. They're trying to do kind of an homage, probably to some of the older Dracula films out there. Some of the contrast works great, like where she's going down the steps there. That looks terrific. But then again, some of the other panels you're trying to. I see what you mean here now. It becomes a little bit harder to tell. So I believe it's supposed to be a stake. She leaves the stake behind as she's walking down to go into the crypt there to go to sleep. Yes, indeed. I believe it's daytime or something like that. So, yeah, I believe she goes into the door, drops the stake there, and then goes down the stairs there. That's how Beer interprets it. But yeah, see, she's got the stake in her arm there. Well, no, she leaves it. So, I don't know. It might be a injury. Maybe an injury, maybe? I'm not sure. That would be a question. That would be a question for Donald Lay out there. Yes, indeed. So, again, I mean, like I said, most of these panels they come out just fine. You can tell what's going on. Every once in a while, you'll get a panel like that that's, oh, what? Hold on, what is that? So, anyways, there we go. There is hopefully an answer for Jiminy. Yeah, weird panel. What is going on around the stake? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, she's dropping. Where did it go here? Where is it? What did I do, Bear? Oh, for crying out loud. Yeah, you can kind of see where she drops the stake there. She's got it in her hand there, and she drops it. She goes to Dracula's castle. You know, everybody has a castle out in the middle of the woods. Um, Goes into the door. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that is supposed to be maybe an injury. I'm not sure. You'll have to ask. You'll have to ask Donald Lay out there. All right, let me get rid of that. So, anyways, there's that. Pretty cool. Anyways, a very good book. A couple minor issues there, but kind of minor stuff. Nitpicking more than anything else. Again, maybe just a quick overpass or something like that might have helped out. But yeah, pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. All right, let me go back to. There we go. There we go. All right. Stick through the heart, and she's to blame. Beer gives love a bad name. Yes, indeed. Abandoning the weapon away from the scene of the crime. Yes, indeed. It comes into play later on, although the panels that you saw, I think, were the first couple panels there. So it doesn't come into play until the very end of the book there. So you really kind of had to pay attention to the very beginning to kind of understand what was happening there in the very end of it. But yeah, anyways, there it goes. Make sure to watch out for the release on Spotify. Yes, the Bear's been trying to come up with some good. Everybody's got that great intro stuff out there. Actually, Bear's been playing a little bit of the Metal Gear Solid 5. I just kind of got back into it, just playing around with the hell. And they got the old 80s music on there. They have the Man-Eater song. Oh, that's a good one, oh, here Bear comes. Oh, watch out, boy, you'll chew you up. Oh, Bear comes. He's a man-eater. That's right. More salmon than man, but and garbage too. Anyway, some need to come up with a good theme song for Bear out there, and maybe put it on Spotify. You could use some money for the salmon. Here's to you, Nikolai and Bart. Yes, indeed. I can't wait for the music video. Well, one of these days. One of these days. Maybe it's supposed to be the stake lying in the snow. Ah, interesting. That could be. Beer doesn't know. But we're going to move on. We're going to move straight on to the Aaron Lopresti book out here. It's called Wraith of God. We are going to do a more kind of thorough review of Wraith of God. But you know what? We kind of enjoy doing some of the head-to-head stuff here too. So let's just go ahead get right on into Wraith here. There we go. Whoops. What? There we go. There is the Wraith of God, or Wrath of God, if you prefer. A very interesting book. Gosh, I can't remember how many pages it was. Much thicker than Dracula. I'd probably say twice the amount of pages. I want to say it's 70. 78, 79 pages. He's got a number of pages in the back, so I don't know if those count, but probably double the size of Dracula. Let's see, a Wraith of God. Let's go ahead and try to figure out a way to kind of explain the Wraith of God. Kind of interesting. Bear's greatest hits? Yes, indeed. What a beautiful singing voice. Ha 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 ha. You flatter, Bear. No, it's not. Not so. Exactly. Bear single win. Many moons from now. Let's see. P1 says, I keep forgetting to tell you my work. Got a therapy dog, and they named it a bear. Every time I see the dog, I sing bear, 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 bear's box openings. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So there you go. Very cool. Very cool. All right. This gets Bear totally distracted. we are going to do a review of Wraith of God. Yes, indeed. We're going to do a bigger, kind of more fuller review of Wraith of God. Kind of a overview of it here real quick. So just kind of keep your eyes and ears out for another review of Wraith of God. But Aaron Lopresti's great book. You know, a lot of people are actually talking about Wraith of God. The one that Beer forgot to hit record on to do the HDR video, we were doing it, just kind of looking through it. I says, you know, this is a really good book. This might be kind of a book of the year for CG out there. I want to wait until the end of the year just to make sure, but it is definitely up in the contention there. Probably is the best book so far this year. So the number of stuff that Bear has here might be a little bit of a nitpicky, but don't want to take away from the fact that it's a great book out here. So let's see the review. Let's just kind of do an overview of it. Let's see. The Wraith of God is kind of the best way Bear can kind of describe it. I don't know if many people saw the movie Darkman. Jeff Fahey. Oh gosh, the Spider-Man guy. Sam Raimi kind of did he was trying to do a comic book movie, but they wouldn't let him get one of the rights to one of the whatever comic he was trying to do. So he did a movie called Darkman, kind of a who was it? Liam Neeson. He did. Was it Liam Neeson or was it Jeff Fahey? Maybe Jeff Fahey was the one of the bad guys there. Anyways, kind of a master of disguise. He gets horribly burned with like acid or something like that. Horribly burned, so he becomes kind of a master of disguise to take revenge against those who wronged him. Pretty similar to a Wraith of God, I would say. Wraith of God is Darkman with kind of a sort of religious connotations to it there. So a very interesting book there. The Wraith kind of is on a mission from God, if you will. Not to do any Blues Brothers stuff, but to get rid of werewolves. You see the Dale Keown werewolf out there. Pretty cool. Get rid of a number of werewolves that are terrorizing the Wild West. And so he's going traveling the Wild West. On the trail of these werewolves, there is a sort of MacGuffin in the form of an amulet. It's not it's not the one that you eat. It's the one that you wear around the neck there. The amulet. The MacGuffin out there that he has to go out and find. Gets in some battles there with some of the werewolves. They change shape, you know, so during the full moon out there, they're the werewolves, but during the day, they're normal people. So he has to kind of do an investigation to go kind of find out who is who and what is what. So let me see if I can get to. Let's see. There we go. Oh, there was the covers. There we go. There's some pages there for you good people. Let's see. Sam Raimi wanted to make the movie. Liam Neeson just started. Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. Let's see. He wanted to do Shadow. That's right. The Shadow, but ended up doing a Darkman instead. Well, Jiminy with the knowledge out there. Thank you, sir. Liam Neeson. Who did I say? Did I say Leslie Nielsen? That would have been an interesting movie out there as well. Anyways, the Wraith of God here. He's taking on the evil out there with a little bit of help from I guess you would say a unrequited love out there. Her name is Esther. He's trying to kind of help protect her, but also kind of keep his identity a little bit secret. Esther kind of just goes along with it because the Wraith helped save her life one time, so she kind of takes that as a sign of God, so she kind of goes along with the Wraith. A little bit of trouble, you know, kind of a little bit of consternation between the two, and kind of brings to the head at the very end of the book. There's some kind of interesting stuff, but yeah, the Wraith, he's going out there trying to find the werewolves, trying to keep the amulet out of. What is it? Amulet? Gosh, what do you call that? A necklace. We'll just call it a necklace. Anyways, trying to get the MacGuffin out of the werewolf's hands. and also he kind of does kind of a master of disguise. He's trying to do it a little bit sly, a little bit undercover, so he doesn't have this sort of dark man look the entire time. Dark man with 2 6-shooters out there, pretty cool. Um, Pretty cool stuff out there. So, anyways, he defeats, or does he? He defeats the werewolves out there, and saves the day. Hashtag spoiler alert out there for all you good people. So a really good book out there. And let's see, probably one of the best things about the entire campaign is the way that not only how it came out. Aaron does some um, great artwork. In fact, let me go to the kind of interesting stuff where he would kind of go through some of the panels there. Then you would add the color into it as well. So he did a really good job, not only with the artwork, pencils and inks, the colors, the writing is great. Bear has a couple minor issues with the writing there, but really great. Probably one of the better written Comicsgate books out there. Did a really good job with all of that. One of the best things, though, was the way that Aaron kind of ran his campaign. Not only did he keep everybody kind of up to date, letting everybody know what's going on with the campaign, usually with probably an update every week. I know the campaign took a while, a little bit, it might have been a little bit over a year, if Bear remembers correctly. So it took a little bit of a while, but Aaron was right there along, just saying, okay, here, elaborate. Oh, for crying out loud. Anyways, Aaron did a really good job with that, and it actually came out relatively, probably, I think it came out on time, or if it was late, it was just a hair late or something like that. So Aaron did a really great job. Also had some great, let me see, let me find it. Did I bring it in here? Did I not bring it? Oh, for crying out loud. I did not. Let's see, is that it? No, that's not it. I had a number of swag that he has as well. So he had a Ace of Spades playing card, if you wanted to have that. A couple other nicer cards there as well that he had. So some nice extras. I think you could also get a shot glass as well if you want to get a shot glass. But very cool, very great campaign. He did a really great campaign. Ran it really well. Did the promotion really well. You probably saw it maybe on Ethan's channel or some of the other channels out there. So he did a really good job. I know we had a little bit of an issue with the garbage. Was it the Garbage Man comic or the? He was trying to put out another comic right before that one, and it didn't do so well. Probably learned from a number of the errors there and fixed all that stuff. So he did a really great job. The campaign came out really, really great. Oh, good to see VM here. Good to see him. I read of a comparison with Kyle Ritter. Oh, okay. Oh, with uh, Mr. Gabe out there. Yeah, I would say they're pretty comparable. I would say the colors. Let me go back to the colors. Let me see if I can find some. Let's see. Let me go back to the pages there. Yeah, the colors in there, probably some of the best colors that we've seen in quite a while. Yeah, it would definitely put Kyle Ritter right up there with Gabe up there. Yes, indeed. Let's see. What happened with Dale Keown? I don't know. What did happen with Dale Keown? I hope he's okay. Oh, I said Jeff Fahey. I'm trying to think of something else. Something else. I don't know. Let's see. You have to elaborate. Dale's deaf. Huh? He is. It was about a lady. Yeah. Let's. We don't need to get into. Don't need to get into all of that. Anyways, let's wrap this up. The Wraith review here. Let's see. Probably two. And again, this is one of the better written books out here. So some of the stuff that Bear's going to say is probably more nitpicky than anything else here. First thing up, compared to Dracula, Dracula basically took place within a day. I think they had the preview pages that we were talking about earlier might have taken place, a day before, and I think the epilogue stuff took place a day after, so maybe 3 days total. But relatively short time frame. Wraith. both good and bad. Both good and bad took place over a much longer time period, which means that you had a bunch of flashbacks and flash forwards. Um, Bear isn't against doing the flashbacks and flash forwards. What you're seeing on the screen right now is the first couple of pages of the Wraith of God. Uh, great intro. What happens when you break that up with a flashback? After this scene or sequence here, there's a flashback to some of the stuff, I believe, with Esther. Or no, excuse me, it flashes forward to the next city where they're going to be taking place. The majority of the book's going to take place. So what happens there is you're really into the moment, and then all of a sudden it takes you out of it. And you start to get back into it, whatever the new time shift is. But that happened multiple times where you start to get into something, and then all of a sudden, okay, we got a flashback to the origin story of Esther, origin story of the Wraith, or what happens kind of in between some of that stuff. That kind of took Bear out of it just a little bit, and it took a little bit of time just to kind of, oh, okay, that's what they're talking about. Let's go back to it. That sort of deal. I think Aaron did a really good job of that. I would have liked to have seen maybe, like for example, they're taking out the I guess what would you call that? Criminals out here, the outlaw gang. I would have liked to have maybe had that just take place over a shorter period of time, or maybe kind of transpose some of the gang member stuff to the town that they're in. What was the town's name? I want to say Calamity or something like that. It started with a C. Um, I wish that it would have probably taken place over a shorter time period because they jump ahead like 3 or 4 months or something like that after this scene here. So maybe compress it down a little bit more. Dracula did a really good job of that with just having it take place within a day, so it kind of literally where it's kind of before and after that sort of deal. So Wraith kind of jumps around a little bit. It makes sense at the end of the story. It just kind of took Bear out of it, kind of in the initial kind of read through of it. So that's kind of the one thing that kind of Bear had as far as Wraith goes, the story wise. Uh, wish that maybe let's see what was Bear going to say? Oh, Bear lost his train of thought here. That's the most horrible thing that Bear could do. But anyways, let's go back to the. Let me go back to it here. Kind of a head to head. We like to do. Oops, let me get rid of this. I get rid of you people. There we go. We kind of do a head to head. So we're putting up the Wraith of God versus a Dracula here. Which book is? They're both great books. Go check out both books. They great for a Halloween a gift for somebody out there. You've got werewolves versus Draculas out there. Kind of does whatever you approve of, whatever one you think of. The only downside, the probably the one biggest downside that we have with Dracula here. Not only is it needed a couple more pages just to kind of flesh a couple of the things that flesh it out the story wise. I wish that it was in color, or at least some of the portions of Dracula was in color. Like if Dracula took a bite of the neck, you would see some red blood or something like that. Wraith did a really great job with the colors out there. Might have just shortened it. I think it's a really good read. I think it reads really well. It wasn't overly long or anything like that. Just wish that maybe some of this stuff might have gotten taken a look at and maybe says, okay, do we really need this? Could we, maybe do some of the Esther stuff later or something like? I wish that it might have been just a little bit tighter story wise, but these are very minor issues that Bear had. Just some of the time jumps that it kind of took Bear out of. But other than that, great artwork, great story, great coloring, all that sort of stuff. I would say Bear's opinion here would be Wraith just by a hair, just by the hair on Bear's arm there. Both pretty comparable books out there. You're going to enjoy both books, regardless of which book you get. And if you get both of them, well, I tell you what, you're just in beer heaven up there. I'm trying to do the thumb, but for crying out loud, there we go. Missing the claw. So, anyways, both good books, but Wraith of God. Let's get the thumbs up. The thumbs up for beer. Yes, indeed. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get back. By the way, go check out both books. Dracula is still up. I believe it is in demand, so you can go check that out right now. I believe it will ship to you, unless you live in Canada, pretty quickly. Wraith of God, I need to check out the second Wraith of God campaign. Somebody out there in the chat knows. I don't know if they have the first book in that campaign or not, so they got the second book campaign up and running, so go check that out. I think they got the first book in there, but you can't. Yes, Bear is missing claw. Hurts like heck. Hurts like heck, don't you know? Got the other claws there. Indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, anyways. So do go check out the Wraith of God. Volume 2. Yes, indeed. And I believe they have that first book up there. Just somebody in the chat, if you happen to know, leave it down there for beer. Yes, indeed. So congratulations, Aaron, Donald, and Clint. You weren't far behind, believe me. A very good book. Enjoyed it. I just needed some colors and maybe another pass or two, like we were talking about the one panel there. 99% of the panels were fine. Every once in a while, they would have a panel that was a little bit off. Kelsey did a lot better job, I think, with the drawing of Dracula there compared to the other one. It got a little confusing when it was Dracula and John Harker there. It was a little difficult to tell. It was a little bit difficult to tell between some of the Dracula wives, ladies out there. Maybe a little bit more polish on that. Otherwise, he did a really good job. Both did a really good job. 4 out of 5 claws. Yes, indeed, that would be Dracula. 5 out of 5 for Wraith. Yes, indeed, just missing the claw. 4.5 maybe. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, let's get back up to it here. Let's do the thing with the thing. And of course, we gotta get your chats. Where are we? There we are. Why is it so... What the heck? What's going on here? I don't know what the heck's going on here. It's so low. There we go. It took a minute to update. Let's see. Dale's been accused of some... Oh, well. Okay. I don't know about... Bear has no idea about that, Jimmy. I do not know. I knew there was some alcohol involved in some of the streams there. It might have had something to do with that. Let's see. Oh, we need to talk about important stuff like Hugh as Wolverine is back. What? I thought he died. Oh, they're doing the what was it? The Deadpool movie. Deadpool movie. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Bear loses train of thought when he smells salmon. Well, yes, indeed. That's completely true. I actually had some salmon sushi just earlier. So, oh man, still thinking about that. Some great salmon sushi out there. Yes, indeed. Race better drawn, colored, and well written. Aaron wins. Yes, indeed. Just by a hair. I think Clint is doing a really good job. I think if he gets a couple more books under his belt, he's going to be doing a really good job. He might have won that round if just again, it's just minor nitpicky stuff. It's nothing to complain about or anything like that. Neither book are bad. Both really good. Dracula is in a hardcover. Wraith is in a regular cover, soft cover. It's in a soft cover there. So. That's kind of one of the bigger differences there. But yeah, both really good. I think this might be the first time that Bears checked out a Donald DeLay book. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones out there. Never checked out the Nasser books. Was there another one that he did? Oh, I forget. Anyways, first time checking it out. Did a really good job. Contrasty did really great in some areas. Other places, we were talking about there earlier, and it was fine. Thank you, Jimmy. The first Wraith of God book is not available on the new campaign. Aaron, if you happen to be listening, Bear would suggest putting up the first round of Wraith of God books. Uh, Sometimes they overprint, so maybe he has 50 books, maybe he has 100 books. Bear doesn't know, but yeah, I would say put some of that stuff up. I think that would be a wise decision. Decision. Whatever. Whatever. Let me stop the recording here. There we go. And get a drink. There we go. That sushi's trying to come back up. We will not have it, people. Not have it. Cash girl. Well, let's get it right on into that. Let's get right on into that. Thank you for reminding Bear here. Yes, indeed. All right, let me find it here. Do that, and then we do the thing with the thing. Let's just jump right into the cash grab since we have that right there. Cash grab. There we go. This is kind of an interesting one. Kind of an interest. Bear has never received an email, a campaign update quite like this. This is kind of a interesting. I really haven't been following along with some of this stuff, so here we go. Here we go. Yes, indeed, VM. Yes, indeed. We'll get right on into that. From Cecil out there. He says, "Thank you for your patience. The nightmare is over." Oh, thank goodness. Due to an ongoing court case, I've not been legally able to discuss why cash grab has been delayed for the past 2 years. That is one of the weirdest sentences that Bear has ever had to read. The case is now settled, and I'm now free to speak. In 2019, I was legally separated from my wife. She was not only unsupportive of me writing cash grab, she would actively try to stop me and even ridiculed the very idea of it. Well, we all did, Cecil, in fairness. Once Bear kids, crying out loud. Once separated in 2020, I wrote and crowdfunded cash grab, and it was an overwhelming success. I wanted the case to be settled before I finished producing cash grab because I did not want her to put a claim on something she was not entitled to. Unfortunately, here we go. The case was a 2+ year nightmare that dragged on and wrecked my life. I'm sorry, Cecil. But that is in the past. The divorce is now settled, and cash grab will be in production ASAP. Bear does not believe that at all. Good things ahead, and cash grab 2 is already in the works. Big things ahead. He says, "Thank you to everyone that has patiently waited on me. I appreciate your support more than you will ever know. Regards, Cecil." Yes, indeed. So, Bear kids on that. This is kind of an interesting thing that's popped up there. I know he hasn't discussed this a lot when people were kind of pressing him on that. Where the hell is Bear's been under the impression we will never get cash grab, and doesn't say that based on this email. It's just kind of a long running Comicsgate joke out there. Cash grab actually started with everybody was saying that the Comicsgate people doing the books out there, they were all cash grab. We were just throwing money at them for no apparent reason or whatever. It became a joke. Cecil was going to do a book called Cash Grab, and it was never supposed to come out. So kind of interesting inside joke there for all the old timer Comicsgate people. Anyways, very, very kind of interesting. Oh goodness. So was Cecil's sister he was living with really his wife, or his evil nieces really his kids? It's kind of interesting. The one video where Cecil got caught, I think he was doing a show with, who was it? Anna and might have been John or somebody like that, and like quote unquote the dog catcher came in and saw Cecil, and he had to like stop his stream, and he ended up getting kicked out of the house or something. You kind of wonder, was that part of the whole situation? Bear doesn't know. Bear doesn't have any information on any of that. Just kind of interesting there. Kind of interesting stuff. Let's see. Mike, back on EVS's show, Cecil married. I don't even know what I believe anymore. Believe nothing you hear from Cecil until you have the book in your hands. Assume you'll never get it. There you go. Pretty much. Again, it's one of these. We all hope that you get the book out there. It's kind of a sort of an inside joke in the Comicsgate world there with Cash Grab. There you go. We wish Cecil all the best out there. Cecil is love, of course, and Cecil is life. All right, let's move from one depressing thing. No, not on to another, but from this depressing thing to something more exciting, and that would be, oh, for crying out loud. Let's see. Oh, here it is. There we go. One of these days, people. A professional show. From Eric Ninoltowski out there, he is almost there as a friendly reminder. Greetings, Centurions? We'll go with Centurions. And Book 1 backers, very soon, Book number 2 will be going to print. Have you gotten your order yet? In yet? Well, do it, people. Get on it. You're not going to want to miss this stunning sequel if you haven't already. Please get in your book orders for Book 2. By the way, we're talking about great books out there. I would say probably Shadow Sentry, one of the surprising hits of last year. Really good book. Really good book. Letters are currently being done, and it will be heading to the printer very soon. Getting your orders in now, and we'll make sure you get your books with all other backers and secure in your place in line. And I will make sure I order enough. Hold on, I gotta check the... Okay. Got the window open here, and it's getting real windy out there. Hoping it wasn't doing anything with the sound here. If you have already backed, thank you. We're almost there. Thank you for your continued support. Great things are coming soon to your mailbox. And he's got this nice. Let's see. I think this is his. I think this is the one that he did. He had a number of different ones. Let's see. Clausen did one. Matt Clausen out there. Let's see. Who else did? Let's see. Was it Kevin Sharp that did it? There was another one that somebody did. It might have been Mike. I know Mike did the first book out there. Anyways, really great cover. Really great stuff from Eric Ninoltowski. Book 2, if it's like anything like Book 1, a Shadow Sentry. Let's see, did we had that go up against... What was that going up against? We did a head-to-head with that one. It might have been Starblades. I think it might have been Starblades. The Kyle Ritter book out there. Shadow Sentry beat out Starblades, if Bill remembers correctly. Not that Starblades was bad or anything like that, but yeah, really good book. Would recommend that for anybody. For anybody out there. Yes, indeed. All right, let me see. Something less depressing, and he goes to darkness. I apologize about that. Let's see. Erica's actually really good. I bought a biblical comic from Eric Sampson, and Eric signed and wrote a nice note to me. That's neat. Oh, that's... Beer lost his train of thought for a moment there on the Wraith of God book. Just as an addendum to that. This isn't a complaint. This isn't a nothing to take against Wraith of God, but it's there in the title there. So if you happen to be, friends or neighbors or something like that, hey, check out this Wraith of God book. Basically, like he said, Wraith of God, kind of dark man with sort of powers from God. Even in the book, they kind of were a little weren't sure how to kind of explain some of that. They kind of made fun of it a little bit there. If you've got somebody that's maybe kind of not of the faith, or maybe, a different faith or something like that, just be aware that it doesn't proselytize, it's not trying to preach or anything like that, but it does have those sort of Christian themes in the book there. So just something to be aware of. Again, nothing not taking anything against Aaron or the book or anything like that, but it's there. So if you got somebody that's just that grinds their gears or something like that, just be aware of that. So there we go. Let's see. LOL. I don't know what you're lolling about, but let's just move on from all of this to something much nicer, and hopefully. Oh, speaking of which, from Clint Stoker out there, we're gonna go to where is it? Where is it here? FATL or FATL. Oh, we're still trying to figure out the name of it. September update. Let me grab a drink. Actually, let me turn off these lights. Hold on a second. Beer with beer. Talk amongst yourselves, people. Talk amongst yourselves. They're battery powered, so I've gotta turn it off before they all die. All right, September update up first. I want to thank you for your patience. This is from Clint Stoker out there. Sweet cast. I know this has been an incredibly long wait, and there's plenty of other books that are longer, Clint. Don't worry. Long wait, and it's frustrating for many of you. I got an influx of messages and comments last night. I hear you, he says. Flats are 98% complete, so colors are progressing well. He says, my goal is to have the print file sent off to the printer before the end of the year. I promise you I will do everything possible to make that happen. Thank you all for your incredible patience. Excuse me here. That's Sushi trying to come back up. Incredible patience and willingness to support a couple of independent creators. We appreciate you so much for making this project happen. And that would be from Clint. So, just based on the stuff there from the Dracula book, people, you don't have anything to worry about. It's just coming in a little bit later than expected. But hey, that's par. You hate to say it, but a little bit of a par for the course here in Comicsgate. Yes, indeed. All right, another great one that Bear. Let's see, did I put this up? Please tell me I put this up. Another great one. Bear kind of, sometimes you get the books and it's like, we're taking a chance on it, see how it works out. The Alterna comics, people, if you haven't checked that stuff out, some really good stuff. Really great stuff. Just a quick update. The new comics, this is for his, what does he call that? The fall? No, excuse me, the summer campaign that he had. The new comics have been shipped out from the printer and should arrive with him sometime next week. He says, thank you for your support on this campaign. Smiley face. Yes, indeed. Our fall pre-order campaign will be launching yesterday. Sign up here and don't miss out. Go check that out, people. One of the cool things that they do with the Alterna comics, it's a number of them. Let's see, I try to remember. Usually about 5 or 6 or something like that. Comics that he'll put out of different varieties. The cool thing that he does, if you've got a book out there, maybe you're just trying to promote something, just maybe your channel or something generally, you can put in ads into some of the books there. Like you can have your ad on the back cover or something like that. Really cool. So if you got a book out there and you're promoting it on some of the other channels or something like that, it'd be a really good idea to put it up there on the Alterna comic stuff. Kind of interesting stuff there. It's usually pretty reasonable. It kind of depends on where it's at. If it's on the inside, it might be, I forget what it was last time, 50, 75 bucks or something like that. Maybe an outside cover is like $100 or something like that. A good value if you're just trying to promote, or even if you're just trying to help out Alterna comics out there. That would be a good way to do that, and have a little something in the book for yourself there. So there you go. Go check out Alterna and their, let's see, fall campaign out there. Good stuff out there. All right, let's see. We did Cash Grab. Let's see. Shadow Sentry we did. Fatal. Is there another one? Gosh, I thought there was another one. Oh, how could Bear forget this? Yes, indeed. Oops, sorry, people. How could Bear forget? We're talking about Graveyard Shift, the Omega Storm, people. It launched on Sunday. They're doing it at noon. I guess they're tired of staying up past 3 in the morning or something like that. Gotta get it started a little bit early. Oh, P-Money's got to head out. It's great to see you, P-Money. Hope you're all well up there, and come back more often, P-Money. We've been making fun of you behind your back, and you haven't been here to hear it. It's terrible. Terrible. Take care, P-Money. Have a good time. Let's see. Wraith of God makes me think of the Spectre. Oh, very cool. I think Aaron made it intentionally ambiguous whether the Wraith actually had powers from God or was just a madman. Um, well, I mean, they heavily spoiler alerts here, people. They heavily implied it by, he wakes up in a monastery, and is going through a drunken stupor at the monastery when an angel of God comes down and basically says, "You need to go do this." Maybe I don't think it was ambiguous at all, but maybe you could say it's ambiguous. Maybe it's got Wraith of God in the title, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that he. Let's see. The lady's name is Esther. She works for the Salvation Army. I mean, there's a number of good Christian, you know, tie-ins there that he does. I do think that it's. They never explained how he got his fighting ability. They explained how he was able to do kind of a very interesting, but kind of how he did some of his masks. Master of disguise. He was in the circus and kind of did that. Never explained how he did a lot of his, very fancy fighting scenes there. So I would assume he trained at God's dojo or something like that. So I would disagree with that a little bit, Jimmy, but yeah, maybe. Let's see. Although the epilogue kind of put the question to rest. Yeah. Which epilogue? Was that the one with the garbage man? Because spoiler alert, people. The very end, if Bill remembers correctly, the epilogue, they have I forget, the Lopresti universe. I forget what they called the sort of the Aaron's Avengers, I suppose. They're kind of team up. So he has the garbage man there, and he's talking to another character. I'm trying to remember the character's name. I can't remember it right off the top. Turns out that character might have been the Wraith, and he's like over several hundred years old. Yeah, I would say that as well. But I think they had more stuff in the book where you didn't really need the epilogue to kind of say some of that stuff. But anyways. Let's see. It is always fun to make fun of P-Money behind. We can do it now. He's gone. He's gone. God's gym. Yes, indeed. You don't miss leg day in God's gym. Yeah, the Garbage Man epilogue. Yeah. I can't remember the other character's name. I remember Garbage Man, and I think it's part of a secret society of some kind or something. I don't recall. I wasn't paying attention too much to that. They kind of had that reveal at the end. Yeah, again, I would say it's his superpowers come from the Lord Almighty out there. So there you go. There you go. What are we talking? We're talking about different stuff here. A graveyard shift. Let's put in some beautiful stuff there. Will Bear talks about graveyard shift. Where are we at? Oh, for crying out loud. Exciting news, everyone, says John. He's already launched a Graveyard Shift Omega Storm on Ethan Van Sciver's comic artist Pro Secrets channel. And I hope you'll all join us and support this fantastic Graveyard Shift project, and the biggest single issue to date with over 140 story pages. Bear checked out the campaign. Let's see, the cheapest book on there, I think it was $50, something like that. So, well worth it for 140 pages. But yeah, it's definitely not a cheap campaign out there. But you get 140 pages. He's very proud of. John is very proud of this project and the people working on it. That would be the stunning Tommy Patterson on board for the art chores, along with Jimmy Reyes on the inks, both turning in the best work of their careers. The story bridges the gap between Graveyard Shift 4 and 5. Is there a 5? I think 5's coming up. Let's see, there was the 2 that John did, and there was 2 after that. Yes, I think we're still on 4. While introducing even more characters to the Graveyard Shift universe. Holy cow, his name's Shredder. If you signed up for the mailing list on Volume 4 campaign, you're automatically signed up for a Mega Storm. You receive a secret tiers at launch that will save you money. Well, I guess that's how you'd save your money. If you bought the Graveyard Shift Supplemental Volume 2, you recall these. Let's see, is it showing it? Not yet. Hold on. Not that one. Not that one. No, not that one. Anyways. Let's see. You'll recall this brutal last page from my Ruiner storyline teasing out Omega Storm. Why is it not popping up? That would have been a perfect time to pop up. All right, anyways, moving on. Right, there we go. There it is. Well, here it is. And here's the pitch. From the pages of Graveyard Shift Supplemental Volume 2, the long-awaited follow-up to Ruiner, comes from the storm, the Omega Storm, forged in the aftermath of Graveyard Shift, a devastating Battle of New York. That was devastating. I mean, they had a Kraken there, for crying out loud. World governments formed an alliance to create a public rapid response team for all Omega threats by creating a team of Omegas to fight Omegas. And that team is Omega Storm. Thrust into the spotlight and having had their personal lives exposed to the world, every aspect picked apart by the press, the social media, and each other, can this international super team hold it together long enough to save our world? And should they? Well, save the bears. Save the bears. So anyways, there is a cover and some pages for you good people out there. Some good stuff. So, yeah, he launched his campaign. I think it was doing, last time Bear saw, I think it was between 40 and 50K or something like that. So he's doing pretty good. Pretty good launch there. Pretty good launch that he had. Aaron's Avengers. I think that should be the name. I think that the Nightman. Okay, Boogie Woogie. I can't remember his name. Yeah, the guy with the covered face and glasses. I'd have to open up the book to find his name. All right. Well, anyways, let me move on. Is there any other campaign updates? Oh, there was just a real quick. People go check out Titan number 3, My Asthma. Some great stuff out there. By the way, Gary Shipman out there. Gary had another, it was a sketchbook that he had, a sketchbook campaign. Unfortunately, it didn't get funded, but I tell you what, Gary, very stand-up guy. He actually refunded that money for those folks out there that checked that out. So, good on Gary. Hopefully he'll bring that back, maybe in another campaign or something like that. It should have been an add-on to this campaign. He really should have just put an add-on. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Something sketches or something like that. I forget the name of it, but anyways, very good stuff coming out of Titan 3 out there. So go check out Titan number 3. Some really good stuff from Gary, the great Gary Shipman out there. Yes, indeed. All right, let's see. Let me go back. That is enough of the campaign updates for you great people. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, crazy news. I don't know if we're going to get into everything here that we have here, but we got some news out here for you great folks. Jim Cantori hit by a flying tree branch. Why these people stand out in the middle of the storm and says, "Oh yeah, it's raining and it's really windy." Yeah, no kidding, it's a hurricane. They tell people to evacuate and then head straight to where they're telling people to evacuate. I wish that he was on one of those outer islands there, on one of those barrier islands. That would have been an interesting. In the boats, apparently. That would have been an interesting one. He would have definitely been blown away. Uh, they try to say that, oh, I'm in danger. We're in real big danger. They're nowhere close to any of that stuff. They're usually in between buildings or something like that. A lot of times they'll stand in like a little puddle of water. Bear saw this before, where they were like, oh, look at all the water out here, look, all behind me, and people are like walking. It's like half an inch deep or something like that. So. The Weather Channel. Terrible, terrible, terrible channel out there. Anyways, enough of that. Great textures on these pages from Gary. The guy deserves way more support. Way more support. Way more support. I watched some videos of people in the hurricane flying flags of F. Joe B. Yes, indeed. F. Joe B. Yeah, they actually had. Oh gosh, I wish I would have. Oh, darn it. I don't have the meme here. I don't have the meme. They had a really good meme where Red Run DeSantis out there, Death Santis was rerouting the hurricane to Martha's Vineyard. I thought that was pretty funny out there. Anyways, moving on from that. Well, kind of an interesting story here from Deadline. Caroline Frost, the legend, I should say, the legend. James Earl Jones signs over right to voice of Darth Vader and signaling retirement from legendary role. How old is he, for crying out loud? James Earl Jones, one of the most distinctive voices in the history of film, appears to have made steps back from voicing the Star Wars character Darth Vader after nearly 40 years in the role. Holy, a bare salute to you, sir. Holy cow. Vanity Fair reports that the actor, aged 91, sir, congratulations, has signed over the rights to his voice to filmmakers using, AI technology. Matthew Wood of Lucasfilm told the magazine that the actor wished to keep Vader alive. We're going to see Darth Vader selling you insurance here in a couple years. He had mentioned that he was looking to wind down this particular character, especially if you're 91 years old. Jones made his debut in the legendary Star Wars villain in the 1977 film and followed up with voicing the same character throughout the franchise up to this point on both the big and small screen. He most recently starred as the character for the new Obi-Wan Kenobi series. I'm sure that's got to be a voice, right? He wasn't in the actual thing there. While actor David Pross, dressed in the distinctive black uniform of the Sith Lord for the original films, it was Jones who provided the unique, deep tones of the complex Vader. Well, I tell you what, Lucasfilm, if you ever need, I mean, you're putting him in the AI here, but if you ever need a voice actor, Bear will throw his hat into the ring. Besides his work on the sci-fi epic, Jones is a celebrated EGOT. He's an EGOT, people. Bear had no idea. He received an honorary Academy Award in 2011, having been nominated for Best Actor in the 1970 The Great White Hope. Other stars from the franchise have made a return to the franchise in recent years. Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, and Mark Hamill. Let's see, but it seems one of the most distinctive actors of it all is finally signing off. Earlier this month, Broadway's Court Theater was renamed in honor of Jones, and a dedication ceremony was attended by such stage and film stars as Samuel L. Jackson and LaTanya Richards Jackson. Bram Stokes Mitchell. We all know Norm Lewis and director Kenny Leon. The 91-year-old Jones did not attend, but had been given a private tour of the renamed James Earl Jones Theater days prior. Yes, indeed. Some good stuff out there. What is an EGOT? Bear has no idea. Bear, let's see. Is it a... I think it is an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony Award. If Bear... I think that is how it goes. Could be wrong out there, but I think because they talked about Academy Awards. So, there we go. The Oscar out there. Yes, indeed. When you hear the original voice of Darth Vader, you feel like you're watching Spaceballs. Yes, indeed. Yes, good underrated film out there. Good underrated film. Let's see. I got some other good stuff here. Some of the stuff was from last week, so we'll just, oops, gosh dang it. I don't know what that was. From the New York Post, a Montauk angler, Edward Palmer, sues, claiming he was too drunk to pass a polygraph that cost him some prize money. This hits home for Bear. Hits home for Bear. Look at that. Look at that giant fish. Bear could eat off of that for a week. He lost his golden opportunity. A professional angler is out nearly. Is Bear a professional fisherman? He could be. A professional garbage digger, for sure. Yes, indeed. A professional angler is out nearly $200,000 in prize money from a Rhode Island fishing tournament because officials don't believe his nearly 200-pound catch was above board according to a lawsuit. Well, Bear doesn't believe Rhode Island is actually a state. I think it's actually just kind of a county there between, what is that, Connecticut and one of those other stupid states up there. Edwin Polner, 58, and his captain, Rudolph Boncellini, failed a lie detector test administered by tournament official. Who doesn't go to a fishing tournament and have a lie detector test? The fish was this big. The fisherman's defense, they were too drunk to pass it. Haven't we all been there? Palmer says the test was unfair and invalid because him and his buddy were drinking like fish in celebration of the big eye tuna they caught. He's now suing competition host tri-state tournaments. Excuse me, people. Claiming it was wrong to administer the polygraph so soon after they returned to the dock. Rules allowed 7 days for the test to be administered. Such tests are given after fishing tournaments to ensure winners have followed all the rules. You know, maybe they should put a polygraph on what's her name? The French lady that does the White House stuff. What's her name? The mop-haired lady out there. And they should administer a polygraph to her. That would be interesting. And have it shock. Like if you get something wrong, it's like, yeah, just have that. That would make Bear want to watch one of those. Yes, indeed. Darth Cockney. Interesting. Both Mr. Palmer and Mr. Baselli had consumed alcohol provided by Tri-State at the post-tournament ceremony, and Mr. Boncini informed the polygraph examiner that he had not slept the night before. Despite the fact that their alcohol consumption and Mr. Bonicelli's fatigue made them unsuitable examinees under the widely accepted polygraph standards, Tri-State proceeded with the polygraphs. Gosh darn it. Look at there. Why do they need a polygraph? You just weigh the fish. Whatever. The fishtail began July 24th with the annual 4-day Tri-State Canyon Shootout in the waters off of Block Island, kicked off. Competitors battled to see who could catch the largest wahoo, mahi-mahi, or tuna. A big eye tuna can grow to 500 pounds and 8 feet long. Yes, that would feed Bear. A Palmer of Miami set off aboard his 46-foot Westmac, Kristen Ragnar, and piloted by Matuk fisherman Bassini. On the final day of the competition, they claimed they snagged a fantastic catch, a 195.6-pound big eye. The whale of a fish was big enough for 4th place for the large tuna in the competition and earned Palmer $199,888 in side bets overseen by Tri-State. But instead of letting Bassini and Palmer take polygraphs a day later, competition organizers Kerry and Kyle Dutton allegedly insisted the test happen immediately, and of course they sued. So there we go. Kind of an interesting fishtail story. You say, my fish is that big. Well, take a polygraph, sir. Take a polygraph. I'm too drunk. too drunk to take a polygraph. Yes, indeed. Speaking of which, by the way, America could face a beer shortage due to a Mississippi underground volcano gas leak, people. This isn't news. This isn't fake news. It's real news. He says, no, I haven't been drinking. This isn't fake news. Let's see. Outkick Joe Kinsey. I've got that in the description. Go check that out. We got this other one here. I don't know if we want to get into the stupid Flash stuff. Apparently, they're going to go ahead through the stupid movie. Why? Whatever. Beer still says if they go through the Flash movie, I think the other Batman movie is the Batman movie. I don't think that's going to go through. They have too many Batmans out there. So yeah, if they go through this, they're probably going to get rid of the other one. But as much as Bear hated the other movie, they should probably just cancel this and keep going with the Batman movie. So, anyways, let's see. The Flash star, Ezra Miller, reportedly under delusion that they are Jesus, believes his own marriage to a Native American spider goddess is supposed to bring about the apocalypse. So, probably let's just put him up on the cross and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? He comes back 3 days later. That's what happens. Anyways, abounding in the comics. I don't want to get into it. This is a long article and really stupid. We might do this another day. But there we go. There is just kind of. He's very surprised looking. I tell you, it's just a carnival of craziness here. Carnival of craziness out there. And finally, people, we talk about Beyond Meat. There is never Beyond Meat, but the Beyond Meat COO was arrested for biting a man's nose at near the Razorback Stadium. Yes, indeed. A food company executive was arrested on a pair of charges after reportedly biting a man's nose in a parking garage in Fayetteville on Saturday night. This would be last Saturday. That would have been a great story for Bear if he didn't have internet troubles. It's a week late. Doug Ramsey, 53 of Fayetteville, was arrested on September 17th on charges of terroristic threatening and third-degree battery. According to a preliminary report, the incident happened at a parking garage near Razorback Stadium following Arkansas's victory over Missouri State. So that's what happens, people. You win and you still bite off a man's nose. Just after 10 p.m., then the officer was dispatched to Gate 15 for a disturbance that had been previously occurring in the Stadium Drive parking garage. The responding officer found two males with bloody faces at the scene and one missing a nose, apparently. The officer spoke with both parties and a witness and determined that Ramsey was allegedly in the traffic lane of the structure attempting to leave when a Subaru, gosh darn Subarus, no wonder he bit off his nose, inched his way in front of Ramsey's Bronco, making contact with the front passenger side tire. The tire! Didn't even, the Bronco's tires are really big, too. Ramsey got out of his vehicle and allegedly punched through the back of the windshield of the Subaru. Holy cow. Not my tire! Smash! The owner of the Subaru then got out, probably eating a granola bar, and he stated that Ramsey pulled him close and started punching his body, according to the report. Ramsey also, quote, bit the owner's nose, ripping the flesh off the tip of the nose. And the victim and witness also reported hearing Ramsey threatening to kill the owner of the Subaru. Well, yeah, we'll let that one pass. It's a Subaru. Occupants of both vehicles got out and helped these separate parties. Okay. Ramsey was arrested at 10:27 and booked into the jail. Ramsey was named the COO of Beyond Meat. He wasn't Beyond Noses. In December of 2021. Let's see. The Fox affiliate reached out to Beyond Meat for comment on the Ramsey's arrest, but have not received a response. According to the Tyson's Food website, Ramsey had been a member of Tyson's Food, a poultry business, since 1992, and was named president of Global McDonald's Business in 2019. The site also states that Doug was a champion of team member safety and sits on the board's executive safety council. Just don't run into that man's tire. Tyson's spokesman said that Ramsey left the company last year on his own accord, unrelated to this. It wasn't related at all, people. Once he went to Beyond Meat, that's when he went crazy. Bear blames Beyond Meat. It only makes sense. It only makes sense. He really wanted real meat desperately. You said it, VM. Once you get that taste of real meat, once you get that taste of a real schnoz, there's no fake noses at Beyond Meat out there. It won't be able to quench his thirst for blood or noses out there. Yes, indeed. So, anyways, a number of these stories in the description down below there. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get back to it. Beyond Meat is almost bankrupt. Well, I wonder why. I wonder why. They tried to put it in some of the fast food joints. It's like a quote unquote healthy option, and they had I think it was a vegan or vegetarian nutritionist that went out and got some of this stuff. They found out that it's so loaded with sodium that it's not a healthy alternative. It's just hey, I like the taste of meat, but I don't want to eat meat, so let me eat something completely different, but it tastes like meat. And it's like, just go get you a mushroom or something like that. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just quit biting off people's noses. That's terrible. Terrible, people. Yes, indeed. All right. Well, I think we're going to go ahead and kind of wrap some stuff up here. Let's see. Yeah, I got all that stuff here for you good people. It's good to see P Money here. He needs to come around more often and hear us make fun of him and his Canadian ways. There's Canadian ways out there. Marco Fuente, great to see him. VM, always bringing the funny as well. Yes, indeed. And also, all of our Russian bots and lurkers out there. We appreciate you as well. We normally do this Wednesdays and Saturday evenings, usually about 8 o'clock, unless there's some crazy hurricane or the internet cuts out or something like that. So do check it out. You know what, people? Make sure you hit that thumbs up for Bear. He does appreciate that as well. And make sure you share. Gotta share, people. You gotta share. Beyond Meat is pure chemistry, nothing natural there. That's why Bear has never tasted it. Never wanted to taste it either. Yes, indeed. All right, well, once again, we do this Wednesdays and Saturdays, so hopefully we'll be able to see you coming up on Saturday. But you know what? All of this, the talk of Beyond Meat hasn't made Bear hungry, but, thinking of noses has made Bear hungry. So he's going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people,